Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon website and checking out some of the tools that I found for this week. These are either going to be items that are on sale, items that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, or items that I find interesting and would like your guys' input on if you guys have used them. All of these items that I suggest will be linked down in the description for you guys with their own independent link, and then there will be 2 additional links that say tools and tools continued. That will take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest, so that's all there for you guys. First up is the Milwaukee 3-inch cutoff tool. This is the bare tool, the 12-volt system, the M12. And this is at $100 down from $108. Other websites or other places you can usually find it between $115 and $150. And then sometimes you can save a little bit when bundled with a battery and things like that. But actually on Amazon, there are a few Milwaukee cordless tools that you can find for a really, really good price. Sometimes you can find this, I want to say it was around $80 or $85. So it's still on sale, but not quite as good of a sale that it was on earlier this week. And this has 4.6 stars at 2,557 ratings. Now keep in mind that when buying Milwaukee power tools on Amazon, a majority of the time you're not going to get the warranty with it. But it all depends on what you're going to be using this tool for and how often you're going to be using it. Because if I can get one of their tools for half the price or a third the price or save $50, sometimes that's worth sacrificing that warranty. Like a couple of the drills and the impacts that I've went over in the past, you could get it for a third the price that you could in the big name brand store. And at that point, I would gladly buy another one if it burnt up after a couple years, because I have their polisher, I have their drill, I have their cordless ratchet, and a few other of the M12 products. I bought them full price, maybe not full price, but on a sale at the big name brand store, but I could have gotten it for roughly $60 to $80 cheaper on Amazon without the warranty. I've had these things for over 5 years, most of them, and had no issues with them. So depending on the work that you do, sometimes sacrificing that warranty is worth it. Now I can understand, depending on what you do and how hard you are on the tools, you may need that warranty. So I can understand where Amazon is not the place that you're going to want to buy it. But depending on how much I'm saving, it's definitely worth considering. This one's okay, not fantastic. I still think going with the warranty at this price comparison, it would just be better. But if you can catch this on sale for basically low to mid 70s to low 80s, I think it's definitely worth considering then. I think this 3-inch cutoff tool is great. It was one of the first ones ever released, I believe, at least of this design. I almost purchased it because I run the M12 lineup, but I also run the DeWalt 20-volt lineup. Those are the 2 brands I use. And when I found out DeWalt was coming out with theirs for the 20-volt lineup, I decided to wait just to kind of see how it performed compared to this. And I'm glad I did wait, because I just feel like the DeWalt one is a much better design, much more powerful, and I've had great experiences with it. But by no means do I think this is a bad tool at all. I think if you can get this for this price or better, I think it's a fantastic deal. So if you guys own this tool, please let me know your guys' thoughts. If you could get a really good deal on it, would you buy it without the warranty, or would you still go with the warranty and pay that extra, $30 to $60? Next up is the Gearwrench 18-piece set in the EVA foam tray. Now, Gearwrench came out with these EVA foam sets a couple, 2-3 years ago maybe, and when they first came out, they were ridiculously expensive. So this is at $99, just let's say $100, down from $104 typical price. The list price of this is probably $150, which is outrageous, but that's what the list price would be, the typical price. So you're getting a few dollar savings. Not great, but a lot of these when they came out were ridiculously expensive when you could get the exact same items for basically half the price. So you were paying this outrageous bump in price just for an EVA foam layout, which that's all personal preference. Some people love EVA foam. I really enjoy it if you have the space to sacrifice, because some brands are horrible, and we're going to do a video dedicated to just EVA foam socket sets, where some brands do a horrible job of organizing. You got this fantastic EVA foam that you can do so many things with. And some of these brands lay them out in the dumbest possible ways and use all this extra space that's unnecessary. But there are some brands that do quite well with it and can actually keep it compact. And this one's not laid out too bad at all. I think it's pretty minimal, a small footprint. And Gearwrench offers a lot of different variations or offerings of these EVA foam layouts. And I think $100 isn't bad when you really look at it. You get a couple of ratchets, both a 90 tooth. You got a semi-locking flex head. It's got different locking positions, doesn't fully lock. And then you just have your standard 90 tooth 1/4 inch ratchet. And then you have a 1/4 inch miniature breaker bar. You have a couple of little 1/4 inch thumb drives and a bunch of different extension options. You have kind of your just standard extensions. You have your kind of wobble plus extensions. Then you have locking extensions and a universal joint. So while it's probably, I don't know, maybe $30, $35 in extensions, probably $15 in thumb drives, the ratchets are kind of what bumps this up. If it wasn't for the ratchets, I would expect this set to be probably $40 or something along those lines, 40 or $50. But we're going to be getting into some of these other sets that they have available, because a lot of these other sets were well into the $300 price range, and some of them, not all of them, have came down in price. So if you're one that enjoys EVA foam trays, then I think Gearwrench has some good options, and they do a pretty dang good job of them. But I'm going to be showing some other brands that also have offerings and kind of show you the pros and cons of each one of those brands, so stay tuned for that video. But I don't think this is terrible. They have some better sets. This one's at $100, 4.8 stars, 197 ratings, and I just wanted to quickly mention this because if brands can keep bringing us things like this, then we might be seeing some better deals on them, because when only a few brands were doing it, then they were quite expensive. And you used to just see these in small little socket sets or small little sets, but they've really been expanding and making quite large sets. So we'll get into that in another video, but please let me know your guys' thoughts. And I completely understand if EVA foam's not your thing, it's not your thing. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. Next up is actually a custom product that I came across. So I run the Klein Tools Modbox system for work. I work out of the bed of my truck, and originally I had the Craftsman like 3-tier step ladder style toolbox. Not great. It expanded quite large. So I switched to their Versus stack, which also works with the DeWalt T-stack stuff, which wasn't bad, but eventually I just needed something a little bit better layout and size wise. And so I, instead of going, I don't know why, I could have easily gone the Milwaukee pack out route. I know that's trusted and reliable by many different occupations out there, but I decided to give Klein Tools Modbox a shot, and I've been very pleased with them so far, and I hope they continue to expand on their offerings and layouts. I hope they come out with a dolly base, a 4-wheel caster base, and just some different attachment options and layouts and stuff. But as of right now, the 3 different boxes or organizers that I have been fantastic, and the 3 or 4 accessory attachments that I have been amazing. And this I came across, this is obviously personally built by a small business owner. Never heard of them, no reviews, and while it's not cheap, it's not expensive when it comes to these pack out style setups, because just some of the forecaster dollies are $100, $150. I paid $150 for a 2-drawer Modbox. I could have almost bought the 5-drawer service cart, but it's the versatility of these and being able to easily fit them in a vehicle while also being able to take them places very easily. So it's really the versatility and usability of these items that kind of bring the price up on them. So while this definitely is not cheap, it's not the most expensive item out there. So I can see where something like this would be handy, because Klein has not came out with anything like it. just a mounting plate. And if you could do any sort of simple machine work or metal work, you could make something very, very similar to this. Things like this that I've mentioned before for the Milwaukee pack out that are just simply like 3D printed feet that the Milwaukee pack out stuff just locks into, which if we could get something like this for the Klein stuff, which would be very simple as well. But basically this is going to allow you to lock your stuff into a certain location. Now $90 is pushing it for just that. I feel like most of the work went into this laser cutting of the custom logos and everything on it. I think if you could just not do all of that and provide me with the base plate for, $60, you'd probably sell quite a bit of them, since you're one of the only ones, maybe the only one on Amazon offering this option. So I just wanted to quickly mention it. I know it's probably few people are going to come across this or be interested in this, but it was the first thing that I saw for the Modbox kind of in the aftermarket realm. So I figured I'd mention it. Then last up is the Sunex Tools part number 3351. This is the 3/8 drive impact socket set. This is their 51-piece set. It ranges from 7mm to 22mm. You're going to get standard or shallow and deep sockets as well as universal sockets, so a really nice assortment here. They are chromoly. The Sunex is probably one of the best bang for your buck impact socket sets out there, and this setup is just a great assortment. So you get a good assortment of your shallow, deep, and universal sockets. And while universal sockets by themselves can run quite a bit of money, especially when you get into the impact stuff, I think you're getting a good deal here for $148, down from a list price of $260. I think this normally sells for about $170 or $180, so $150 is a decent deal. And they do have smaller sets if you're not interested in the universal sockets. Maybe you can get by without those and just a impact rated universal joint, maybe save about $50 or so. A lot of the sets do carry that lifetime warranty. There you can see the 3/8 drive. I believe this is their master set, and this is $196. A little bit more coverage here with some extensions and a universal joint included. So if there's a universal socket up here that you may not have, or it doesn't cover it, then at least you have your universal joint here that you can use to cover that missing size possibly. This has 4.8 stars with 4,918 ratings, and that is going to be a combined rating for all of these sets. Just keep that in mind. But I definitely think it's a good option. Sunex Tools has always been a reliable impact socket, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. If you have any personal experience with any of the items that we've went over today, please let me know down in the comments your guys' thoughts on them. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Also keep in mind, all of these will be linked down in the description for you guys, and I will see you guys next time.